Hello there, good evening and a very warm welcome to our 4-0 Sunday Live Christmas special. Everyone is dressed up and ready for the occasion. We have assembled a very special panel. A big welcome back to Barney Gaz, Mr. Fish Tank. I'm also delighted that my T-Lop colleague and good friend Nappers is in the top left-hand corner of your screen tonight ahead of his long trip to Fratton Park next weekend. Looking festive. How are you, Ben?
Very good. Colleague. But no, very good, Tom. Grateful for the call up and good to talk football. It's not necessarily all about Fleetwood.
Absolutely. Well, some of it will be about Fleetwood towards the end, mate. So make sure you got a little bit in the tank for that. Gaz joins us all the way live from Malta as always. What a fantastic week we've had, mate.
Yeah, we have. I mean, obviously, since Northampton, when I was over for that game, obviously on the back of the result from the week before, obviously the Blackpool when we had that injury crisis and the suspension crisis.
Yeah.
Obviously since then we've bounced back okay. I think there's been some resilience about this squad.
There has. We're going to talk about bounce back ability and the run post that Blackpool defeat and you take it off if you need to, mate. No worries at all. He said it was like fitted into his January jeans before we went live, so he's in nonetheless. Take it off, no worries. 3 Sunday lives on the trot for Uncle Barn and 4 wins on the spin for Pompey. How are you?
Uncle Barn. I'm not sure I'm liking that one. Not even the oldest here.
What should we go with?
The one that lives in Portsmouth on the channel.
Ooh, crikey, 1-1, early doors. How are you?
Very good, son. How are you?
I'm very well. And a massive welcome back to the 4-0 Sunday Live panel for Mr. Fish Tank with the Fish Tank in the background. Very apt. Good evening, sir.
Hope everyone is well. And a Merry Christmas to everyone.
Yes, very happy Christmas to you too. Thank you for all being with us this evening. Alex is also here in the chat saying, good evening, guys. Looks promising this season. Haven't had this much optimism for years. Ian is a Manchester Northern Blues member. Welcome along to you, Ian. Hello to AP. Happy holidays from Maine. Quick Kick Quiz is loving the optimism. My little girl Faith, who Tom interviewed a couple of times, led the team out with Marlon against Bolton. Emotional dad moment for sure. And what a night that was as well. Wouldn't be Sunday without Uncle Barn. Dan, you are absolutely right. We're not going to let that stick, Barn, don't you worry. David said hello from Penzance. Hello to you too, David. Welcome along to all of you. 182 of you joining us live already here. Before we get into all the action from yesterday, let's take a brief moment to remind ourselves of how Pompey stole the show at Shrewsbury.
Good morning, Andrew.
Yeah, good morning, Tom. A very, very good early morning to you, and a very festive one.
Festive one, yes. Indeed.
The way that they're going to defend, I think they will make it difficult for us, but I'm going to say 2-0.
It's one of those away days when your feet shake beneath you because there's so much of this. It was a half deserving of at least a goal, and now we've got one.
78% of the ball in the first half.
That's mental, isn't it?
There's a really nice panache and substance and purpose what Pompey are doing to come out and deliver to us in the second half.
exciting game of football, eh?
We have heart and we have faith. In Portsmouth, we believe. Come on, Pompey!
That bloke there absolutely made my day towards the end of the way out. Hello to Michelle. Good evening, guys. Nice to have you back. Hello to Martin. Hi from San Jose, California. Good evening to you. Up the show, Ceiling Blues from Noz Herb 1. Martin's decided to go for it. That one always makes Barney laugh. Martin's gone for decided to join you boys rather than going out for a swim. Alex said Merry Christmas to you. Hopefully come the new year, it will be our year. We're all going on a championship tour. Brian said, love this as always. Like I said yesterday, massive win for Portsmouth. He taught us a lesson. Brian's a Bolton fan, if anyone doesn't know. He taught us a lesson on Monday with what I saw yesterday. Pompey are nailed on champions. Well, that is quite a place to start, isn't it? I should say there is a man of the match poll up and running in the live chat below. Have your say now, and the result will be revealed here on the show at about 7:30. Might be quite a close one this evening. It is a busy night with loads to squeeze in between now and 8 o'clock. We always love to hear your thoughts. Join in the conversation with the panel in the live chat down below. The 2 Ps, Aaron: patience with our football and professionalism in performance. What did you make of yesterday?
Well, yesterday, I think it was a very slow start. We didn't seem to be kicking on all cylinders in the first 15, 20 minutes of the game. So it was a bit flat. But we still got that goal in that 10 minutes before half-time. We always seem to score just before half-time lately, which was a bonus. And they had shots, they had chances as well. But I think we needed that goal before half-time to just calm the players down and just like, come on, let's just go for it again. And then luckily we got another 2 goals. Unlucky we didn't get a fourth, but that's football for us. But we're winning again. And I think it's at 16, 17 unbeaten away games now. I think it's about 16, 17.
Something along those lines. Yeah, we'll have a little look.
So and we're still the only team in the whole of England to be unbeaten away.
We are this season. Absolutely.
But overall, I was very impressed with the whole of the team. They all put the effort in. So, yeah, fantastic game. And especially for the supporters that went up there as well, bouncing it all over, singing non-stop. Credit where credit's due. The Pompey fans are massive.
Absolutely. Monday was massive, Barn, but the follow-up was important too.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I think it's just a continued bounce back. It still feels like we're on a continued roll from Blackpool. 4 games, 4 wins, no goals conceded, 10 scored. It just feels perfect. Yet again, we're back in that place of almost, you're a Pompey fan. You feel like, when's it going to stop? When's it going to fall apart? Is it too good to be true? It's fantastic to keep on seeing.
Is there a point at which you're going to go, right, yeah, no, let's just all believe? Or does that take a long time to come yet with 25 games to play, Bomb?
It's until it's mathematically done. I think it will take till there's sort of 5-6 games and we've got a 6-point gap, something like that. But even then, you know what football can be like. It's not even just a Pompey thing, is it? It's just football, full stop. Football's a crazy game. You've seen teams lose leads, gain on people. Look at City and Arsenal last season. Every Arsenal fan in the country would have thought they'd have run away with it, and then City somehow just didn't stop winning, didn't drop a single point in the last 10 games or whatever it was. This is League One. There's going to be losses. There's going to be trip ups along the way. But if we can carry on like this, we're going to be singing early. We're going to be singing in April, I reckon.
Could be singing in April. Let's see. I said on our podcast earlier, Ben, that this probably wasn't even top 3 in terms of Pompey away performances this season, and that's probably a reflection of how good our travels have been. But plenty of sides have been frustrated by Shrewsbury this season due to the way they set up. No such problems for Messino's game plan yesterday.
No, and he's learnt a lot, not just in terms of the way he speaks to the press, the way he speaks to his players, the way he is with the fans, and the way he kind of reacts. And it's really good. Since that obviously defeat you had to Blackpool, and you're kind of forgetting it just as much as I'm forgetting it because I've been told so much about that. But you're a phenomenal outfit, aren't you? To win 4 straight league games away from home, it is 16 games. Without a defeat. And was it Barnsley last time you lost out to? And in that run, you played some big hitters in there as well. And even this season, you look at the character of the side to keep going away at Derby, a late goal. Probably should have won the game, battling points away at Stevenage and Cambridge, and you've won the other 7. So, when you keep saying it was just another one, it's just another 3, and onwards to that, trajectory. So, a good result. You keep plodding on, keep scoring goals, and again, let the others talk for themselves, because I was disappointed when John Mousinho said, of course, we're Oxford to fall off a little bit. I went, well, you're good enough. Focus on yourself and you'll win the league. You should win the league. And it seems since that moment, you focus on yourself. Oxford have had a bit of a blip. Bolton have had a bit of a blip. You have one game, bounce back ability, won the last 4. Well done.
Thank you very much. Look forward to chatting later on about the game coming up next week. James Sturdwick, good evening to you. He said, Merry Christmas to all you Blues. Sensational things happening at the club. Team is unbelievable and so much depth. Gutted to see Ronan go, but I don't think there's anywhere for him. On course for a 105-point season if it didn't ever let up anyone know what the league on record is. I think we might be waiting a little bit longer before we start discussing that. 10 league goals without reply post Blackpool, says Dan, and 11 clean sheets from 21, Gaz. We've also conceded the least amount away from home of any other side in League One. The clean sheets are a real quality of a side looking to be promoted, aren't they?
Was that to me?
Gazza, that
was. Sorry,
yes.
I didn't hear the Gaz bit. Sorry.
It's all right.
Good evening all, Yeah, obviously, from the bounce back from obviously the Blackpool is obviously evident, and obviously the performance on the back of the Bolton was obviously going to be important as well to back that up as well. And fair play to Mousinho. I think the squad selection when it come up, it probably surprised a few people, because it was like some people in teams, they get there because like Colby, for example, his name would be straight on the list, wouldn't it? But fair play to him. He's stuck to his guns. Yangi, obviously, has been playing well and stuff like that. So it was a good indication of how the squad is looking after each other. People can sit out on the bench and they don't go huffy puffy. We don't have any people that just have a hissy fit because they're on the bench and stuff like that. There really is a togetherness on this squad, and the impact that they're having off the bench now. It's nice to see that as well. Obviously, at the moment, players like Sadie are playing really well out there. Obviously, Kamara yesterday was amazing. The whole team at the moment, there's absolutely no one really putting a foot wrong. And I'm wondering what the water is that they're drinking in Portsmouth at the moment, because it's running through the veins nicely. Like we've already said in the panel, it's like we were waiting for the bubble to burst. The monkey, as Dan's already said, the monkey on the back with getting that first defeat. So now we're going again. Now we're like, now it's going to be, when is the first goal going to be seeded? Not the fact that we're going to lose a game. It's actually, at the moment, defensively, we're playing really well. Shrewsbury had a few chances yesterday, but it's like so we've had it before in the past. You can have as many chances as you want, but you need to take the chance, But at least this time, we're taking chance, we're creating chances, and we're getting the goals. Goals are crucial. First, that just before half time. That's going to sucker punch Shrewsbury going into that dressing room, because I think even on the iFollow he said, once the throw, overtime, throw's going to go in, header away by the centre half, and that's it, half time. And then we went and scored, and it was literally as quick as that. That's how quick games can change, and that's our momentum going in there. And obviously second half dominated. I thought second half, and I think 3-0. Obviously, it's frustrating not to get the 4 for the stream, and obviously 5 and 6. But goal, we're scoring and we're not conceding. We're all happy days.
Happy days. And Matty Taylor came out after the game and said that really did take the stuffing out of Shrewsbury at halftime, thinking they were going 0-0, and it was a massively different game. Barney mentioned this at the top of the show. Can't be the only one thinking the wheels are going to come off any day. Like that season, we didn't win a game between Christmas and April. I feel like with the squad assembled, the kind of the vibes around the place, it does just have this different feel about it. But naturally, that's what we would have said at that point in time as well. Hello to Stephen Rolfe on Facebook. Say good evening, gentlemen. A happy Christmas from a very happy Pompey fan. I know we all are like that at the moment, Stephen. Hello to Lorraine, who says hello from Devon. I'm sure the girls and Bobby are all watching as well. So hello to you all too. I think we should probably get into looking at the goals, actually. Let's chat about those goals, shall we, Barn? It was always going to be an important first goal. Aaron said it at the top of the show. By the time we went in, as we were sort of getting towards and Gaz has mentioned this a minute ago. We were thinking this is starting to become a little bit of a bore draw, and worried the game's turning into a bore fest. The breakthrough came courtesy of Abu Kamara at a brilliant time.
Yeah, I mean, even the missus who gets Pompey forced upon her clocked that yet again. She said we've scored just on the stroke of half time, and it's changed the sort of flow of the game. Taylor's going to have gone in there, like you've just said, and been absolutely devastated, thinking they're going to go, right, 0-0, come on, boys, we can get 3 points here. Knowing we've gone in 1-0, we tended to be better second half. Even Northampton, where we had a great first half, we still came back out even better second half. The first goal was the only goal I actually missed when I was trying to watch it on my totally legitimate stream at work. But yeah, great timing, and it's what you need, isn't it?
Richard Pilgrim says, hope you're all well. Try not to get too carried away, but surely this is the season we get promoted. All the best, Tom McCoo. You're doing a great job, Richard in Spain. Thank you very much, Richard in Spain. Much appreciated. Glad you are enjoying the stream this evening. Phil said, looking forward to welcoming Pompey to the Gas on Boxing Day. We might nick a point. I don't know if you boys would have seen the video yesterday. It was a rather hilarious Shrewsbury fan yesterday who I had a little bit of a dig at for not scoring too many goals. He thought they were going to nick it as well. Don Switch Lights says Pompey won't fall off this group of players. Chop draw, and not seeing a team like this for years. Ben, it opened up after the break. Shrewsbury press us a little bit more. They know they've got to come at Pompey a little bit, and as a result, Messina said it in his post-match, opportunities came, and Marlon absolutely loves scoring at Shrewsbury, doesn't he? Second in successive seasons.
Yeah, he obviously loves the goal, and obviously the magic man there, you can't give him too much space, and it's criminal how much space he gets, to be fair, but again, uses it well, pulls it across, and it's a great run into the box, and maybe that's what Portsmouth have been lacking in the last kind of couple of years in League One. Willing runners that will, drive into the box, even when you might be a bit tired, a bit leggy after, a really good performance 5 days prior to it. And after, coming back from injury as well, getting into the box, being that little bit hungrier than your opposition. And it was a brilliant finish and a brilliant afternoon. 3 points, 3 goals and a clean sheet and a Marlon Pack goal as well. And he started last season off very well. Did he score in his first 3 games? And didn't score for a long while, scored 2 goals and got a couple of assists this season, I think, as well. So, again, a really nice ball in by the star boy. You can't forget that. But great goal.
We thinks 2 goals and 2 assists so far this season for Marlon Pack. Aaron said Ben is my favourite vlogger, top man. He's got a lot of front coming on Fournilwrittenalloverit all over it, saying Ben's his favourite vlogger. But there we go. Well, to be fair, Ben, you are my favourite vlogger as well. So we take that, don't we? Ben's mentioned him there, Aaron. A lot of love for Paddy Lane's work down the left-hand side here. Such a similar profile to that of his game at Northampton that myself, Barn and Gaz were there for. It's another assist to add to his talent. He continues to shine, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that's the play that we needed. Last couple of seasons and everything, we've had other players. I'm not going to go into names and everything because that's history now. But he's actually putting in the effort. You can actually see how hard they're working in training. The runs that he's making, the assists he's getting as well. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. And that's definitely what we've been missing over the last few years. In virtually all the different areas. There's still a couple of places I would like to actually strengthen in January. But I think at the moment we're doing well. And Paddy Lane is just been a breath of fresh air. Really has.
Did you do this on purpose, Tom?
No, absolutely not.
I miss him.
Well, I've got a question queued up for you about him in a minute. He is like a Lancaster bomber, isn't he, Gaz? I was impressed with us out wide yesterday. I mean, he's demonstrating all the Lancaster bomber qualities, isn't he? Both Paddy and Abu, to be fair. Lot of strength out wide yesterday.
Yeah, there is, and that's what we've been missing. Actually, some actually extend the pitch a little bit more than what we've done in the past. Obviously, Paddy's he's played on the right so far, he's played on the left, but I think him and Sparks have a really good connection on that side. He's literally always, he's always pulling him. He's always on the line. He wants to run in. He's got a really good cross on him. He's got vision. He's got everything that that we've been looking for. We have been screaming out for, someone that can at least put a decent cross in, whether it's a high one. Obviously, he's seen Pack there, literally in between 2 or 3 players, and he still fed that ball through like a needle. Confidence is huge. He's already got a few goals himself. Obviously, he's banging some lovely assists in now as well. I mean, why Fleetwood sold him, who knows? You know what I mean? But only someone in that top corner knows, like, you know. But for us, he's a little gem, and it's one we're blessed with.
How proud are you of Paddy, Ben? Taking your Fleetwood hat off, of course. Just focus on the professional and the boy that you got to know well.
Humongous, and he came in obviously from the non-league scheme, and he came on at Rotherham, and I remember going, "Who is he?" Like, because I kind of missed the signing of him, and it was time for our development and took a kind of a key, and he came on away against Cambridge, and we switched him to the right hand side, and Grayson actually so he wanted to cut him on his left foot, and he scored a wonder of a goal that rescued a point. And after that, he just never looked back. He scored some vital goals that year, kept us up. Another one at Cambridge at home, and some really good strikes, all screaming as well. Got a lot of assists, played at left wing back a lot as well. And he is a true professional. He works hard. He'll play a number of different positions for you. When it's not going well, he'll lead the troops as well. And unfortunately, a manager didn't see what everyone else can see, and that was disappointing. And he's a top bloke, and one that I wish well. But Saturday, can he just have a day off, please?
I don't think he will. I've got a feeling, Naffers, there might be Anyway, I won't go there. We'll chat about that later on in the hour. Stick around for 4-0 Sunday Live. I'll have more Paddy Lane chat. Aaron, on to Abu's second and Pompey's third, and this is probably the pick of the bunch yesterday.
Yeah, it was lovely build-up. It was class, really. All celebrating with the fans and everything as well. But it's the confidence in this team. Anyone on this pitch can score. I think the keeper is the only position that hasn't actually scored for us this season. But everyone's putting in the shift. They know what their game plan is. They know how to play. The team has gelled completely. And this is what I was happy about. At the beginning of the season, I said, you've got to give it 20 games. And now we're coming up to 20 games. Well, we've done 20 games now, and this team is thriving. They've got their work effort. The training must be amazing because they're doing the performances on the pitch. And if we could give man in the match to every player, I would give it to every player yesterday because there wasn't anyone that did anything wrong. And I even said at the beginning of the season, I want Raggett gone. He's a completely different player now. It's unbelievable. So whatever Mousinho's doing, he's doing a fantastic job with all the players. And with Kamara, unbelievable. It's just like he's fitting into the group. He's actually getting stronger. His confidence is built. The goals are just amazing as well. It's just like, getting into the box. And this is what we've been missing. This team now, it must be one of my favourite squads of all time at the moment. Because there's so much passion in this group, and it just seems to be getting better and better. I can see us losing 1 or 2 more games this season, but only 1 or 2.
Well, time will tell us on that one. This is an interesting comment from Eddie that says we will lose and we will draw games as other teams will have their day, as Blackpool did. While we keep winning, I only see us going up more patience in our players and our fans so used to battle against sides too. I should say as well, that key pass from Christian Sadie for that goal, absolutely fantastic. And Gaz is talking about the vision from Paddy Lane. Vision from Christian Sadie there was fabulous. Barn, I gave my man of the match on the way out to Mr. Marlon Pack, who I thought was absolutely spectacular yesterday. Since he's been back in the side following his injury, we've seen some of the best of him. We've had our club captain back. What a great afternoon it was for him.
Yeah, he looked like he really lost the middle of the park. Him and Morel, when they're on their day together, teams will really struggle to know how to handle them because the two of them combined have got so much Football League experience, Championship and League One, that they really should be bossing the park. I think Marlon especially, he's played a lot of Championship football. He should be coming down to League One and treating it like a stroll in the park to get his home team back up into the Championship. But I thought it was very, very close between him and Kamara yesterday. I think Kamara might have had I commented on his post saying I think it was the best game you've had in a Pompey shirt so far. Just didn't seem to put a foot wrong. I did notice he even lost the ball at one point and he tracked back to try and get the ball. I don't think he actually won it, but it's that level of commitment, isn't it? It's the passion. So many times wingers lose the ball and then they just, the wing back will sort it out. And he actually ran back and followed. So, although Pack did have a fantastic game, Kamara was man of the match for me.
Would you go with Kamara, Gaz? It was another brilliant display from him, and actually, I think I'm right in saying that's 3 goals in his last 3 away games in a Pompey shirt. We were there when he scored against. Did he score against Burton? Or am I wrong in saying that? I think I might be wrong in saying that. Anyway, he scored a brace yesterday. Regardless, he might not have been 3 in his last 3 away games. But a brace for him, his first brace in a Pompey shirt, and as Barney said there, who's just above you, we probably saw the very best of Abu Kamara in a Pompey shirt yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
You both did that perfectly at the same time. Brilliant. Sorry, Cole.
Yeah, obviously the worry after the Bolton game was that he come off injured, so it was always he was going to be sort of like a hit and miss if he was actually going to start on Saturday. But absolutely fair play to the medical team, the treatment, the physio, and everything. Obviously, this year seems to be different because last year players were picking up an injury and they were out for like 6 months. But like, I don't know what was happening last year medically wise, but they seem to have stripped that back, and we've actually got doctors, people that actually know what they're doing, and they've actually refined him nicely. And obviously yesterday, he just had that freedom about him. I mean, the good thing about he seems like a grounded guy, and they all seem off the pitch as well. They're doing nice things together. They're all sort of close knit. It's he's just another breath of fresh air. We could talk about individually each person. They're all just having great games. It's like statistic wise, they've got to be in the high 7s, haven't they, on this for this week for sure.
Absolutely. There was a comment there from Martin that says, so jealous he can't be there with you boys at away games, win or lose. Great to represent, Martin. I hope a little bit of Fournilwrittenalloverit can transport you to those away games when we show you the scenes. Ben, I wanted to speak to you specifically about Marlon. He's once again demonstrating why he's our commander-in-chief out there on the pitch. He did everything he could have possibly done for the side yesterday. You spoke about him at the top of the show. A goal and an assist, and one of those long throws that we've been so used to being absolutely useless from a Pompey point of view actually worked.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice to have, different elements to your team's play. And I think this Portsmouth side do have everything in terms of, style and characteristics, passion. And Marlon Pike is a big influential player. I don't think it's just on the pitch. I think it's off it as well that he sets the example. It's like, well, we beat Shrewsbury. We'll celebrate tonight. We'll enjoy it. But Sunday, we rest, we recover. And Monday, we're literally focusing on, obviously, Wimbledon. I think you've got tomorrow, is it, in the kind of the Bristol Street Motors, but he's focused fully on Fleetwood, and then going into a busy Christmas period, it's relentless. And I don't think he'll let the younger players like your Kamaras, your Lanes, your Yangees, those type of players who have done really well, recently, he'll be like, but you can do better, you can do this. And they might probably get frustrated with him, but they'll love him in the long run, and he's so key for that football club at the moment.
And you look at how his numbers compare across the league, Aaron, you see there on the screen, that is of the other League One midfielders. He's in the top end across all of those metrics, which just proves to you what a pivotal player he is in the middle of the park.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's definitely a championship player. He's too good for League One, but I'm so glad we have him because the numbers are just extraordinary. It's just amazing. He is the talisman and everything in the middle of the park. And he actually gets everyone motivated, and he's a really good captain, because he controls everywhere. But yeah, he is far too good for League One, and he should be in the Championship minimal.
Mark said Marlon's throw-ins do offer us a different weapon. First time since Greg Halford that we've had that in our armoury. There's a name for you all. We're going to get on to revealing the man of the match poll. We're also going to take a look at the player ratings from yesterday afternoon, of which there are some really tremendous numbers that you're about to see on your screen here. I was mightily impressed with this. Oh, we're a man down. He's gone. I think he's coming back. He has been dipping in and out. So we'll see if Gaz can rejoin us very shortly. This is obviously Gaz's little section barn that he implemented earlier on, and I really like the fact that we can go through all of these. Only 2 oranges on there. The rest are all greens, and there's even a couple of blues in there too, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, I think Fish Tank said that earlier, didn't he? Like, not barely a foot wrong from anyone, really. It's more that Rafferty and Yengi didn't do anything of note. They didn't do anything of substance, which is probably why they're only orange. But I still felt Yengi had a good game in his hold-up play. I noticed early on he was getting bullied by their centre-back, so he didn't quite have him on toast like he did the Bolton centre-back. Yeah, I mean, all-round, absolutely fantastic performance, like we're seeing week in, week out at the moment. everyone's playing really confident. The composure when they were passing the ball around the second half, when we were 1-0 up, you can see them not trying to rush it. Even if we did lose the ball, we were getting it back really quickly. Shrewsbury were just humping it up the field, lumping it up, not humping it up. That came out very wrong.
It's all right. We'll take it.
We'll move on. Shrewsbury looked like they were really short of ideas as to how to deal with us. Everything they were trying wasn't really coming off at all. I think that's more credit to us than a downfall of them.
Ben, would you go with Marlon Pack, Abu Kamara, or another man for the mix for the Pompey man of the match vote from yesterday?
I think Marlon Pack, to be fair, because middle of the pitch, assist, a goal, commanding performance, set the tone for everybody else as well. Kamara getting a brace is always good as well. You want that from your wide players as well. Other teams in the League One, get goals from their wide areas, especially your Peterboroughs, your Boltons, and your Oxfords, and Porter's starting to be up there as well. But Marlon Pack, I always think it's nice when your midfielders getting in on the action and score a goal.
Dan said, Fleetwood on a losing streak, Pompey on a winning streak. All runs have to come to an end at some time. In the past, it would make me nervous, but not with this group. Gaz, you're back with us. Who was your Pompey man of the match from yesterday afternoon, mate?
Well, for me, I think it's got to be Pack in the middle. Just for the fact that he's shored up the middle, playing well, got his goal, for me, it's Pack all day long.
Aaron, would you go with Marlon?
Actually, I would, because the goal that he got, sensational, and he was just everywhere, and he just controls that team completely. So, yeah, very close to Kamara, but Pack for me for man of the match.
So Fish Tank, Gaz and Barn. Barn went Abu Kamara, didn't he? And Ben was in agreement with us on Marlon Pack. I would probably, just for the balance, I would probably go Abu Kamara. And as the story checks out in the man of the match poll down below, 2% for Paddy Lane, 3% for Joe Morrell, 41% for Marlon Pack, and Abu Kamara takes it with 54% of the vote. Great to see that, and brilliant for his confidence as well, Barn. I suppose it's a big thing, isn't it, with Kamara? Probably the most out of any of those other 11 players that you're looking at on your screen. The confidence a brace gives him after some really good performances recently, that's going to mean a lot to him.
Yeah, there was a couple of performances. I think it was Barnsley that we played really well, yet he had a shocker. I'm sure it was Barnsley. I might be wrong on that, but
yeah, it was.
The first game that I really remember him having a turnaround for was actually the game that he did score in. I had to check your stats from a moment ago. He scored at Leyton Orient in the then Bristol. No, what was it then? It was still the Pizza Trophy back then. He had a much better game that night. That's his confidence since then seems to have grown and grown each week, and he seems to be almost nailed on. Like the way that they've shaped up now with Paddy on the left and Kamara on the right seems to be like a really confident decision from Mousinho every week. If you look at the first few games, we were playing different wingers, or at least one different each week. They seem to be absolutely nailed on at the moment, and I'm loving that.
That's certainly the decision making. Put it in our group chat. The decision making from Mousinho, selection wise, substitution wise, has always been absolutely bang on, and that's continuing as of late. Let's get on to our PPG graph that we always like to look at here on 4-0 Sunday Live. This is actually going to be joined up thinking with what you've been saying recently. Actually, Nappers, your projection of the PPG times 46 I saw earlier on today would put Pompey at well over 100 points. I don't think that's the sort of total we'll have, but it's a positive reflection of where we're at right now. Nappers?
Oh, sorry, I thought it was
What's going on tonight?
I don't know. It must be catching. No, 100%. Especially at the end of the season, you've won promotion, teams fancy a few beers, and the points can come out. 88, I think that'll increase slightly. I think it'll be 91-ish. That will get promoted. 95-ish, I think, will win the league, and then anywhere else will be in the playoffs. So I think you'll be absolutely home and host. But again, if I was Paul Smith, I wouldn't be looking at any graft. I'd just be thinking 3 points, get to 50 points, get to 60 points, beat last season points tally, and then that should be the mentality. You're Paul Smith, you should be getting out of the league, and don't put too much pressure on yourself. But you're not going too badly, are you? You're not going too badly. Unlike my boys, I'm looking at the red and thinking, we've got to make up another 12 points yet. But yeah.
Well, I suppose the players probably won't look at this graph. A little bit of self-indulgence on 4-0 Sunday Live for us, just have a little bit of fun. Hayward say, good evening, chaps. Fantastic show as usual. Thank you very much. Nice to see Napper's smile on his face, even when wondering what life would be like if Fleetwood still had Paddy. They're still here, but still here, Ben. Still the comments are still coming. Gaz, I mean, maybe not with direct correlation to the graph, but how much of the success can you put down to, yes, the quality of the players, but also the belief the players have in the manager? Because I don't feel like we're speaking about that enough.
So is that to me? Because my Wi-Fi is dropping out like big time. It's like for some
indeed,
reason we've got rain here now, so it's like rain and windy, and obviously my internet is just not happy with it. So
that one was for you, mate.
Sorry, apologies. Yeah. So what was the question?
We're talking about the belief that the players have in John Messino, which isn't spoken about quite as much.
Well, he's just a genuine nice guy. I mean, obviously, when he was at Oxford, he was the chairman for the players, the PFA, wasn't he? So obviously, he knew. Obviously, he has a nice understanding of what players obviously want, to be treated, and I think he treats them players well. Respect goes both ways. He's respecting these players and obviously them, and obviously he's a young guy. He's got like a lot of new things going through his head. Obviously, when he first come on, everyone was like, who's this guy from Oxford, centre half? Is he a manager? We were sat there a little bit on the fence as well when he first come in, weren't we? It was like we were looking for a big name, but look what we managed to get out of, the recruitment. We got, who knew Messino when we got Messino type thing. It's like, he does. He plays around with the squad a little bit because obviously it's a squad player. It's a squad game, but he knows where players are strong. Like he knows, he's still learning. I'm guessing, but he knows Paddy can play out well on the left with Sparks. He knows obviously Robertson in the middle. Pack. We're blessed anyway. He is blessed at the moment this season because of the great transfer window that we had. He must have been like a little bit worried at the end of last season because we obviously didn't get to the finishing line. But the recruitment, they've backed, he's been backed, and obviously I'd have been like this, like licking my lips, like, oh, look at these players coming in, it's like new toys, but where to put them, and they all seem to be gelling really well. So it's, it's a great time for him. It's a great time for Portsmouth.
And probably a bit of an undercurrent of warning as well, Barney. I want to return to what you said at the top of the show, really, which was how quickly football can change. Yes, it looks fantastic. And I'm sure Pompey fans in the stream tonight on the panel, obviously not Ben, looking at that league table and thinking, look at us up there at the top. And there's, level on games, there's no games in hand with the top three. Pompey have done that off their own merit. There's not like we're points in lieu, anything like that. But as you said earlier on, it doesn't take a lot for things to flip like that. Oxford were sixth at the start of the day yesterday. They jumped right up to third. It's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't want to let yourself get carried away and get overexcited. We're 2 games away from halfway. I think come Boxing Day or the end of Boxing Day, once we've played everyone once, that's going to be a real teller as to what the second half is going to shape up like. If we've only lost to one team in 23 games, 22 teams are going to face us going, we'll take a draw. Yeah. Because it will be better than the first half of the season against us. And if we've got teams setting up to play against us like that, that's when you're going to get results like Shrewsbury yesterday. They sat back. They let us pass the ball around. Like you said to Dill in your video, what was it, 70-something% possession, 78% in the first half?
Yeah.
We'll exploit that. We'll be patient. We'll let them come out from the back and let them make mistakes. We'll cross it in. We've got Colby in the middle or Yengi, other big players that can get on the end of a header. I think it's all looking good. I'm just so not wanting to be overly positive, just in case we end up shooting ourselves in the foot somehow.
We'll see what happens. Stumpy said out the blues, reach the sky, enjoy it, then give it. A love bite in April, keep the faith from Stumpy. Thanks very much indeed for that. Wanted to get that one in there because why not? Ideal reckons we are going up. That's what he was whispering in my ear in Warwick Services yesterday evening. He was an extremely excited young man. Phil says Moose was a masterstroke. His only wrong move this season was the Chesterfield team selection. Perhaps there's maybe that one little mark against his name. And if you think about it, it's probably pretty much nothing else. Ben King, hello from Australia. Do you think we will sign anyone in January? If so, what positions do we need to cover for defender? Well, I mean, that debate was raging on when Raggett was coming into the side, of course, with the absence of Regan Paul. But actually, Aaron was saying it earlier on, Raggett deserves an awful lot of credit for the way that he's adapted and slotted right in fantastically well. We'll come to you, Aaron, actually, on the league table and obviously, of course, not getting ourselves carried away. But Pompey 7 points clear at the top of League One. And as the title suggests of this live stream, top of the tree for Christmas. It feels fantastic, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I think every Pompey fan is going to have a really good Christmas this year, especially top of the tree. Still keep my feet on the ground. I'm not getting overexcited because anything could happen. But we just need to make sure that we're scoring more goals. I would like to see more goals to get our goal difference up. And then actually, well, the team are doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's what they're getting paid to do, is score the goals and win the games. If we can, hopefully, Shrewsbury can beat Peterborough next week. That do us a favour. And then, yeah, we just got to keep going on and on and on. Just take one game as it comes. Don't worry about what's going to go up in about 3-4 months' time. Just take every game. Concentrate on that one first. Get the 3 points, move on. Get the next 3 points, then move on. But yeah, this feels so different to previous seasons. It's very similar to when we won promotion from League Two. The sort of attitude from the players, the manager, and everything. And the best thing about our manager as well is he's completely different to the other football managers like Rooney, Lampard, Neville, because some managers just can't do it. Ex-players cannot manage teams, but because he's been so involved with the club and everything at Oxford, and he's come in and he's actually still a player, and then all of a sudden he's now a manager. So whatever he's doing, if you could bottle that and sell it, you'll make a fortune. But yeah, loving it being at top for Christmas. Everyone would love to be at top for Christmas. Just hope we don't have that stupid little spell after Christmas and lose too many games. But I can't see it. But you've got to still be reality about it.
Aaron's talking about the next 3 points available. It's interesting that the next 3 points available, Ben, are for Pompey at Fratton Park when your boys come down from the Fylde Coast next Saturday. Wanted to squeeze in a little bit of time to talk about Fleetwood. I've managed to find a metric in a minute where we can compare one similarity between our two sides, Ben, which I'm sure you might raise your eyebrows at. First of all, what can we expect from your boys coming down? You describe Peterborough as a little bit of a free hit, not too much pressure on, given the sort of the ramifications of the game. Do you feel the same way about your trip to Fratton?
Yeah, you could say that. You go to Fratton Park and you can play in Portsmouth at Fratton Park with no fans. It's tough. You play in front of 19,000 fans. It's 3 times as tough. It really is. And I don't often say I'm a big believer that fans don't win games away at Portsmouth. You can feel it being in the away end. Even at 3-0, you're not safe. And we've experienced that before. So, yeah, I'm expecting a really tough game. In terms of Fleetwood, we were better yesterday. We a bit more fight. We stuck in the game, but still could have lost it 6-7. Really, if I'm honest with you. But that was more down to the quality of Peterborough than the bad of Fleetwood. Fleetwood will be high press. It'll be high intensity. We'll get after you. We won't, sit in a block. I don't think as well. And we do create like that. Stat does show we do create big chances, but we miss an awful lot of big chances. We had 2 yesterday, and we just can't quite take them at the moment. And when you're Fleetwood in your bottom of the table, you just don't kind of get the rub of the green at the moment.
That was something I wanted to bring up, Ben, and I'm glad you segued straight into it. Gaz, I mean, you're looking at that column there. Pompey top of the league, having scored almost, in the top crop. You look at your kind of your Derbies, Blackpools, Peterborough and Pompey for the top goal scorers in the division on that graphic at this moment in time. But Fleetwood aren't far off in terms of the big chances created in terms of ranking in League One. So I'm sure Messino and the players won't, but by no means can you treat Saturday as a walkover by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it's not. I mean, Tom, we know what League One's like. Being top of Christmas, doesn't really guarantee you promotion either. We all have to obviously be grounded and play one game at a time or look forward to one game at a time. But yeah, when you start getting into these statistics and graphs and stuff like that, this League One, anyone can beat each other on the day. It just depends on the luck. It could be the referee. It could be an injury. It could be anything. Anything could happen between now and Saturday. Obviously now we have this. We're having a good spell at the moment. We're actually taking chances. We're scoring goals from set pieces, and we're not relying on just the one person scoring a goal. Like how Colby got so many goals last season when our midfield was so disorganized. When it was injuries, there were suspensions, and he still managed to get them goals. At least this season, we seem to be creating more goals from different places, and we're taking our chances. So there's obviously some work getting done on the training field for sure. That's that big goal with the net. That's where the ball has to go. That's normally the first sort of bit of training I was taught as a kid. And at least they're doing it.
And when you get the chance to hit your foot towards the ball into it, Gaz, that's the one, isn't it? Take your chances.
That's the one, yeah.
Bun, Fleetwood hurting. They'll be wanting a reaction at Fratton Park. So, it might be. I said to Ben, is this a potential banana skin? He didn't think it was earlier on, but I think it might be.
If you've got many players, I must admit, I don't know the Fleetwood squad particularly well, but if they've got any players that have been around for 3-4 years, they're undefeated in 4 visits to Fratton Park, 4 draws in a row in league visits to Fratton Park. So it's not going to be as easy as I think we might think it is based on league position. It was all the way back wearing that kit the last time we beat Fleetwood at Fratton Park. So it's been a good few years and a good few visits since they've been down. We took 3 points.
Ben, you're not. You're talking about earlier on that you're not kind of particularly excited about your trip to Fratton Park. You're talking about the atmosphere. You're talking about how you're never safe at 3-0. But as Barney's mentioned there, it's not been a bad stomping ground for you of late. You've taken some points there.
No, it hasn't. I do think there was a lockdown season there as well, and there was a bit of not negative atmosphere at Fratton for a while. They just kind of lost its spark a little bit, and in the last 18 months, it's massively improved again, and that's probably why you see the difference in results, if I'm being honest with you, because it really does, get you over that line. And, when you feel it in the away and you don't know what the players are going to feel under pressure. And, it's been a good couple of years for us at Fratton, but if we ever needed a result, to come to your place, it's Saturday. And our players haven't been playing in recent weeks. And, you could not play for the football club all you want. If you can't go and play at Fratton Park in League One, as a League One footballer, just be honest, a lot of you won't play at better stadiums and better atmospheres than that. Go and show yourself what you can do. If you want to leave the football club, go and show what you can do at Fratton Park, on Saturday.
And before we let you go, Nappers, because there's always fantastic League One Live with Jake and Ben over on his channel at 8 o'clock. So make sure you head over there and join them when we're done at 8. Can I take a score prediction off you? And do you want to... Well, there is probably no lead, Ben, because I think pretty much everyone in this show will have watched you and watched us and have the crossover. But tell us where we can find your stuff and drop us a score prediction and any goal scorers that you might... Well, all 4 goal scorers for Pompey.
I'll tell you what, if it's 4-0 written all over it, right, I'm never speaking to you again, honestly. But it's a pity I go to hospital again for 6 weeks, you know why? You're going to beat us. There's no doubt in my mind. And look, there's always that 1% optimism before the game that you can get something the more you speak about and think about it. I think you'll do us 2, if I'm honest with you. Could be more, but I reckon it'll be... we're starting to get better at the basics now, so I don't think we'll get walloped. But 2 will be okay. And Cod's Vlogs, you can find it on YouTube. Tom's come on a couple of times. We do a lot of League One based, mainly League One, and a bit of Fleetwood content over there as well. Just behind Tom in terms of subscribers, but again, close to 12,500 subscribers. And Tom and the boys, thank you for having me on as always.
You're very welcome, mate. I'm sure. Barney will see you Saturday. See you Saturday, Barn. You'll come over and say hello, won't you?
I will try my best. I'm working before the game, sadly, so may not be able to.
Barn will be in the vicinity on Saturday, Ben, so you'll definitely see me and we'll make plans. Enjoy your show, mate. Best of luck for that, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, buddy.
Take care, mate. See you soon. That was Ben, and he is been with us tonight to chat all things Fleetwood Town, and has also given us a really interesting outside perspective on Pompey from his League One point of view too. We are going to spend a little bit of time now chatting about a bit of a bumper preview. We've got a couple of games to talk about. We obviously won't see you here on 4-0 Sunday Live for a couple of weeks. Before we do that, I wanted to talk about a very special someone, Gaz, someone that we know very well, someone we saw at the end of the game share a special moment with the Pompey fans, and that was Super Matty Taylor.
Yeah, and what a player he was. When he came into he came into us 2002. We were on a sort of a rise anyway, and obviously loyal servant for himself, because he was looking for there was teams looking for him in the Premier League already. He was that good, and obviously come to Fratton Park, and what a player he was. Scored some amazing goals. Obviously, two of the standout ones was the Sunderland one and I think the Everton one, the volley that went, from halfway line. It was ridiculous. But again, that was a team that was blessed with, we were blessed with phenomenal players, Sheringham, Loa, and then we had like Berg, Merson, Sheringham. It was just a good time to be a Pompey fan as well, because we were on the up. But yeah, he was one of these guys that, he gave everything on the pitch. He was a pacey guy, and I'm really. It's always nice to see a guy that obviously, when they played for a club, there's still that respect, because even then, I watched the interview afterwards on the Shrewsbury channel. You can tell he's still part of Portsmouth, and it's like, yeah, I know we lost to them, but I'm sure Harton is like, yeah, but Pompey won, it's difficult, isn't it, as a manager of a against a club that you used to play for, and he had some good times. Matty Taylor. And he was one of these guys that was always there, always look, signing shirts, and he was always there with with the kids and stuff like that. It was just it was just a great time for being a Portsmouth fan, and he was another one that just stuck out, and I wish him well, because obviously after he left us, Bolton, Burnley, West Ham, so a good loyal servant, and yeah, good luck to him, mate.
Oh yeah, well, there's a lot of love coming in from the chat for Matty Taylor. We were going to talk about both the standout goals really are the Sunderland and Everton one. Before we do come to Aaron on a little bit of a reflection, we're going to show my age here a little bit, but when I was very small, we were obviously sponsored by the TY. I don't know, Barn, have you got any TY shirts to hand that you might be able to grab for us? Or
if I've got 60 seconds.
You've got 60 seconds. This story will take 60 seconds. So we had the shirt sponsor of TY. There was some fantastic shirts back in the day, and it was obviously a big, massive conglomerate at the time. And me growing up as, everyone's disappeared. I hope everyone's going to get TY shirts and not just leaving. But that neither of them are going to hear the story, but you at home, and me and Aaron are going to enjoy the story, and you at home will join us as well. But I was very small, and Dad used to buy me absolutely everything from the Pompey store. And I remember growing up, and I had these little teddy bears, the little teddy bears that were sort of the size of the palm of your hand, right? TY one, and my dad always used to say, that's your Matty Taylor toy, because it looked a little bit like him. So it was him obviously wearing the shirt, and he was sat there, and he used to be on my bed the whole time. I don't know where it is now, it's somewhere. One
with TY.
Yeah, I used to have a little Matty Taylor teddy bear in it, and that's always stuck out as a memory. I'm very much here we go. He was wearing that shirt there, right? That's one of the ones. Yes, that's fantastic.
It's either that or that one.
I think it might well be that one. I think it is that one, actually. Yeah, that one looks slightly.
My missus has moved it.
Oh, she's moved it. We got them, Gaza. We got a TY one, but yeah, I was just telling the story about the little teddy bears. But there we go. Happy days, Aaron. Your reflections on a Superman, Super Matty Taylor.
Oh yeah, he was loved by everyone at the club. But he spent 5.5 years on the South Coast. He scored 29 goals in 203 appearances. I think for me personally, his best season was 2006-2007, when he netted 9 goals in 39 appearances. That included the 40-yarder that he created just after the halfway line. And he was a big factor for keeping us in from the great escape that we had, because he actually broke ranks and he actually stole the ball to take the penalty. And then from then on, we played Sunderland, scored the penalty. The next game was Wigan, got another penalty. We had to win that, and we stayed up. If it wasn't for Matty Taylor, we would have gone down that season. So all credit where credit's due there. The goals he done and everything, his attitude and everything, and especially with the fans as well. Like Gaz said, he always had time for the fans. He used to stand outside at sometimes in Fratton Park when we were in the Premier League, standing there for 45 minutes to an hour, just signing autographs and chatting to the fans, parents, and everything. He was loved by everyone, and he still is loved by everyone. So glad he's still in football. His management now. But yeah, it's just phenomenal player. And yeah, there's some pinnacle goals that he scored in his career. And he did say that one of the 40-yarder and the other goal against Leicester, I think it was probably his best ones for Pompey in a Pompey shirt. But yeah,
someone just asked me if I had a Bishop Printer shirt. So I do.
There we go.
Old school,
fantastic. Look at that.
Bit wear and tear now.
Yes, that one's seen better days, Gazza, but you got it nonetheless. I haven't actually seen you with that one in one of your trips when you come over. Everyone's shooting off to get various different shirts.
I'll have to lose half my weight, you know what I mean? to get into that. I've had a few Christmases since then, Tom.
Fantastic.
Even the sizes are different.
Barner, I know it's probably maybe slightly too young in your time of following Pompey, but it does take quite a lot, doesn't it, for a former player coming back or us going to their place as a manager. You know, you normally get the booze or the stick or the rudimentary, but not for someone like Matty Taylor. What a club legend and what a fabulous moment that was, shared by all in that away end yesterday.
Yeah, you sometimes even get satirically fans chanting, "We've seen you before, we've seen you before. You're somewhat useless, we've seen you before."
Very nice.
You're welcome. Up the algorithms. I don't think anyone's going to ever think to go and give him that kind of stick. It's probably one of the best times the club's ever experienced in the modern era. Some might say that era, the kind of getting up from the Championship into the Prem. Some would say that they probably enjoyed that more than the FA Cup run, knowing kind of what the FA Cup run and that year finishing 8th or wherever it was we finished is kind of was the downfall or the beginning of the downfall that led us to kind of where we are now almost. It's been lovely having a League Two tour and all that kind of stuff, but nonetheless, yeah, what a fantastic era that was for the club. I was probably 14, 15, 16 around that time maybe, going into college, first sort of times I would say recognising what a Pompey is. Remembering my dad saying to me, "Play up Pompey" as a kid, and being like, "What's a play up Pompey mean?" You know, and so my time of watching Match of the Day and such, that would have been when I would have discovered Pompey, and Matt Taylor a part of that as well.
Amazing. What a brilliant tribute, boys. And it's it's amazing when one of those things comes round and we all have a little reminisce and go and grab our shirts. We should do that more often. Hopefully we come across more Pompey favourites. So lots of love to Matty. We wish him and his Shrewsbury side all the very best for the rest of the season. We've got one more final thing to do here on 4-0 Sunday Live, and that is to give a score prediction ahead of the visit of Fleetwood from the Fylde Coast to the South Coast. Gaz, we'll start with you. Just one more quick little word on that from yourself about how you see the game going. And how many you think we're going to get in the back of the net?
Yeah, I think confidence is high. We go into that game. I don't see anything less than 4, if I'm honest. So I'm going to go with a bare minimum 4-0 written all over it.
Graham saying, Steve saying 3-0 on Facebook. Graham saying 3-1 and happy Christmas to all the 4-0 production team. Class around. Thank you very much, Graham. Much appreciated. Aaron's got a little visitor with him. There he is. Aaron, what we're saying score prediction wise, Ben's going for 2, AP's going for 2. A visible comment is going for a 3-0 again. Logan saying for a 4-0 versus Fleetwood. 3 goals for Lane, a hat trick for Paddy, and a goal from Bishop. 5-0. Dan's going for a 3-1. Michael's saying a 3-0. Mr. G's 2005 is going for a 3-1. What are you saying, Fish Tank?
6-0.
6.
Well, it's going to have 4-0 anyway, but we're just going to get the 2 for a bonus, for a Christmas present. Yeah, but 6. And I'm glad Ben's not here now because he'd be crying. Yeah, so
He-
you'll have to take him some tissues and everything next week. Yeah. But
Thanks.
6.
I won't ask why that is, Aaron, but that's all great.
He's crying.
Because he's crying. Good save. I will say there's people in the comments being a little bit more conservative, small c, about the score predictions. 4-1, Paddy Brace. Alex wants a 4-0 double this week. Wouldn't that be a nice Christmas present for you guys? Alex, it certainly would. Barney, probably want to look beyond Saturday as well and say a really tough opposition at the Mem, a sold out home ground, a sold out away end at Bristol Rovers too. So that's going to be a tough one. Your tickets are right here on my table for that. Very much looking forward to it. What are you expecting from Fleetwood?
The heart wants a double 4-0 written all over it. 4-0 both halves, 8-0, something ridiculous like that. You know, Bolton have put 7 past. Oh, did they put 7 past? Was it Fleetwood?
Exeter.
You just think it's of all of the opportunities, if we're going to get one of those games this season where we do really do a proverbial DICKING, as they say on Three Lads in the Pub. This has got that written all over it. So it'd be nice to do 2 separate 4-0 written all over it videos, you know, a first half special and a second half special.
I mean, we could look at that. We could definitely look at that.
My brain says, though, it'll be tight. They'll come to us. They'll put 11 men behind the ball. They'll just do everything they can, sort of minimise the kind of the damage, perhaps. So I reckon 1-0.
We'll take that. I think we'll take anything. So we've got a 4-0 written all over it from Gaz, a 6-0 from Aaron, and a 1-0 from Barney. All that is left for us to say, and is all that's left for you to say, Gaz, is a very happy Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. And obviously stay safe, drink responsibly on all that.
Good man. We look forward to seeing you in the new year, mate. Last comment of the evening from Dan Aaron. If it is 6, I will kiss you. Happy Christmas. Oh, I'm really sorry, Aaron. You've muted your microphone, sir. So we might.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone. And I don't mind kisses because it is Christmas. But yeah, everyone have a fantastic Christmas. Be safe out there. Spend time with your friends and family and everything, and have a very, very safe time.
Happy Christmas, Barn. See you Boxing Day.
See you then, my man.
Thanks for watching, people. Keep the faith. Play at Pompey. And happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.